Hey, yo, I hear people all the time say that they're not good at math. And if you're one of those people, I want you to ask yourself this question. What is math? Do you have an answer to that? If you don't have an answer to that, how do you know if you're good at it or not? If you do have an answer, put it in the comments. And by the end of this video, let's see if we agree on what math is. But I'm gonna do my best to make sure you understand what math actually is, and then you can decide whether or not you're good at it, okay? So first, let's talk about what maybe you think math is and it is not. It's not arithmetic, it's not algebra, it's not geometry, it's not calculus, trigonometry. None of those are math. Those are all genres of math. Just like hip hop, jazz, blues, those are all genres of music, but they are not music itself, right? And it's not counting or measuring or doing the four operations. Those are tools of math, like the instruments. You know what I mean? Those aren't the math itself. So still, we're trying to figure out, well, what is the math? Think about it. You thought about it? You got it? You had your time? So I'm about to tell you what it is, and it's mad simple. Math is just relationships. That's it. Math is how we study and talk about and write down relationships. When we get into geometry, we talk about the line. What is a line? It's a relationship between 2 points. You got a point here and a point here, and a line is literally the most direct relationship between the two. You can have an arc. That's another relationship. You see what I'm saying? So every different kind of relationship has a different name, but we're talking about the relationship between 2 or more things. If we've got 3 points, we call that relationship a triangle, or we can call it a plane. But still, we're just talking about the relationship between these things. Even our lifestyle is clearly relationship stuff. So just think about your diet, for example. Your diet is your relationship with food. And then we break everything down into the math. The weight of the food that you eat, the calorie intake, the vitamins, the minerals are all measured in ratios and how much percentage you should have a day, how much salt intake, how much sugar intake. All of that diet, our relationship to food, is math. Even the muscles in our body are doing all kind of math. Like since we were children, we've been learning how to refine the muscles, how much to pull to get it to do a certain thing. Now think about it. Scientists spend decades studying our muscles to program a robot to be able to do what we do. And you see how clunky the robots look because they can't do math as good as us. A 3-year-old can walk better than a robot. You see what I'm saying? So that means a 3-year-old is doing math that is taking PhD scientists years to study how to figure out, when we just do it naturally just by living. So it's really not possible for you to not be good at math, because math is literally keeping you alive on the inside. You've got your heartbeat, which is a relationship between contracting and releasing. You got your breathing rate, your respiratory rate, the relationship between inhaling and exhaling. You got a pH balance, the relationship between acid and alkaline. I mean, every single thing in our body, from the height and our weight down to atomic number, we express everything that we say about the body. We express it all in numbers. So how you not doing math? I mean, think back, when you were in your mother's womb, what was you doing? What was the first thing you did in your mother's womb? You divided in order to multiply. Mathing. And the fact that a whole crowd of people can hear music and sing along together, that's math. Can you sing along with the crowd? Then you can do some math. Where my finger at? Point, camera. Now, I'm here to make math cool again, make it a little bit sexy, make it fun, because we should all want to know math. That's what all of the sciences are based on. Every engineer, every chemist, every biologist, if they want to be good at their work, they got to be excellent at math. And I'm sure I don't have to point out that economy, that money, is all about math. It's all about relationships between people and resources. Like, you know this stuff, but we got to lock in and realize that math is actually the superpower that humans have that no other being on the planet has. That's why we can make buildings and vehicles and clothing, because we're using math to do all of those things. And none of these other animals are using math the way we do. It's our superpower. But the best unkept secret about math has always been in our faces the whole time. If You take a number and you do some math on it. The answer is always called the solution. Math always gives you solutions. What is the solution? The solution is the answer to a problem. So literally, math is our ability to solve problems. If you're saying I'm not good at math, you're saying I'm not good at solving problems. Now, we as a people got some problems and we need some solutions, right? That's why we need to get nice with our math. Not this arithmetic and writing numerals on paper. That's not math. Just like writing my name on paper isn't me. That's not me if you write my name on paper. You can't hug that and it hugs you back. Numbers are entities like electricity, like magnetism. They're things that are happening and we can write it down and talk about it. But you got to understand the difference between what we write down and what's really real in the world. Math is the relationships that are happening all the time. So I'm here to take you on this math adventure and get your solution superpowers activated. And this is what we're going to end on. We're going to end on the beginning. To start off math, geometry specifically, everything starts with a point. Do you know what a point is? You can put that in the comments too if you know what a point is. A point is a place in space. I'm not talking about the dot that we write on a piece of paper to represent a point. Remember, the thing we put on the paper is not the same as the thing in reality. The dots represent a point, but a point is a place in space. Here's a point, here's a point, there's a point. Point. Every little spot is a point, right? The thing about a point is it has no length, it has no height, it has no depth, it has no physicality to it. It's an imaginary, it's not imaginary so much as a mental thing. It's not a physical thing. A point is a mental thing. All right? You with me on that? You probably know this. Take it a step farther though. If I said a line is a relationship between 2 points, we're talking about 2 non-physical things and something in between them. This really not a physical because a line is a bunch of points, a bunch of connected points. If a line is a bunch of connected points, that means a line is also non-physical. And if all our shapes are made up out of lines, which are made up out of points, that means they're non-physical. So does that mean that none of the shapes that we study in math are physical? That's what that means, right? That's what we're going to talk about in the next episode. If you enjoyed the vibe, you're part of the tribe. Go on, subscribe.